So hi guys, today we have another problem that is odd even problem, and I'm not reading this part, the question description. I'm going to explain you in myself. So what basically the question states that uh, we have given two values, that is x and y, and what does x means? X means that I have to check for the position all even position of the alphabetic array. What does that mean? Uh, An alphabetic array that will start from A, B, C, D, so on up to Z, right? So, what is the position of A? That is 1. I am using one based indexing. So, position of A is 1, position of B is 2, will be 3, 4, and so on, right? So, I have to check for the even position for X only. I have to check for even position. What is the even position? That you can see that is 2 and 4, right? So, what value I have to check? The value that I have to check, that is the frequency of that element. Suppose here I have to check for the frequency of B, and you can see that the frequency of B is 3 because there are 3 B's available, right? So frequency of B will be 3, and also I have to check if the frequency of B is odd or even. For X, it will be even. If it is not, then I cannot count that element into our answer. Okay. So you can see that for 2, like for X, it will be 2, and the element is not odd, so not even. So I cannot consider this one. But for Y is depicting that we have to check for the all odd position values. And suppose here, what is the element, or what is the frequency of A? That is 1, right? So look, position of A is odd, the element is odd, so I can consider this element the A. So I have to increase Y by 1. So initially all the values will be 0. It will be 0 also, it will be 0. So now this will be 1. Okay. And then we have to check for 3 also, and 3 is odd obviously. And what is the value of C? That will be 2 here because there is two 3's present. So two C's present. Okay. So for that the element is 2, that is even, and the position is odd, so I cannot take this element. Okay. So y will be as it is. And then we have to sum x and y. It will be 1. And 1, is it odd or even? Obviously, it is odd. So you have to return a string that will hold odd. Okay. So this is the question that they are asking for. And again, let us take another example and check for another edge case. Suppose I'm taking this example A, C, C. Then if I make the frequency array, then how it will look like? Basically, the index will be starting from 1, and this is for A, this is for B, will be 2, this is for C, will be 3. Okay, so let us fill the frequency of this array. That will be 1 here, and that will be 2 here. And let us declare x and y. So initially all the values will be 0. And now check for x, I only check for even positions, right? And 2 is an even position, and you can see that B is not present. So for element it will be 0, but condition that is satisfying, right? Because here the position that is 2, and 0 is also an even number. Then I will add 1, but will it be right? Because look, B is not present, but still I am increasing the value of x. No, it is not right. Okay. So I have to think for something that when the values of the frequency array will be greater than 0, then only I can consider that value. That I have to keep in mind. Okay. So for that, I am taking this example to show you the edge case that one edge case can be in this question. So yeah, hopefully you have understand the concept what I want to tell you. Maybe you can code it up yourself from now, and if you cannot, that then come to see code. Okay, let us write the code. That will be in x will be initialized by 0 and y also. So now I have to make the vector for frequency array. It will be frequency initializing the size of 26 and 0, and for int I is equal to 0 I less than 20, sorry, s dot size I plus plus, and then I have to store the value of the frequency array into the frequency vector. That will be frequency of s of I minus a will be just plus plus. So now this is the time to check for to make our answer. That will be I less than 26 I plus plus, and if the frequency array, the value of the frequency array, if greater than 0, then only I can check for that element, right? So if, what will be the condition? First of all, let us check for the position if it is valid or not. So I plus 1 mod 2, if it is even, then I can understand that I have to work for x, right? And also I have to check for the element also, the value of the element. That will be frequency of I mod 2. If it is also even, then only I can increment the value of x. And what is the another case? That is I plus 1 mod 2. If that is odd, then obviously it will return 1. And that will be work for y. So it will be frequency of I mod 2. If both are true, then I have to understand that I have reached one odd position element and the value of the element is also odd. Then I can increment the value of y also. And at the last, I can return if x plus y, these are even or not. I have to check for that. If it is true, then I can understand that it is odd. Otherwise, it is even. Okay. So let us try to run the code. Okay, so it is working, and let us take for another example. So it is also working fine. Let us try to submit. Okay, so it is working. So this is how you can solve this question, and what will be the time complexity? That is basically uh, size of the string, and obviously I'm not taking extra space. I'm taking extra space, but that will be constant. Why? Because the size of the frequency array is fixed, so I can tell that I can use I'm using the constant size of extra space, and yeah, that is the approach that we can solve. And obviously, you can use some bit manipulation here to get the mod value, to check the mod value, sorry, even or not. So yeah, this is how you can solve this question, and hopefully concept is clear to you. And see you in the next video. Bye.